Hello there, this is OneUpIndie and I wanted to start with my first devlog for my game which will be coming out hopefully very soon, which is Office Orc. And what you're seeing is not the game, or this is just a mini game which I implemented in there because there was a request to do kind of a rampage destruction system which I built, and I thought maybe I could do that in a live stream. But that thing is, in my opinion, way too complex. For example, I just built a dynamic system so where you can build pretty big buildings and then just go in, and what you do in Rampage, you just destroy, and then for example you get the inside, which is I guess one of the cooler things, and there can be a human being, then you can eat it because you're a monster and you just climb that thing. I don't know, so you can see you're just destroying the side of a building, and then you can bring it down. But that was way too complex, so I have to skip on this one. There will be no live stream concerning this one because that would take at least 3 hours or so. So sorry, but concerning how many people actually watch my videos till the end, which is basically just a handful, I have to skip on this one. Of course, this thing will be implemented in the Office Orc as a mini game, so you can actually destroy that stuff, so you see that in action. But as a tutorial, I am sorry, but I have to really disappoint you here. Not a chance. Too complex, too big to be a thing I could offer. Maybe for the patrons, if they want to have that, I guess I can give that for free. Because let's go into the building and the spawnings, and there's lots of things which are being automatically spawned. Some alarms, some settings, some hitboxes, lots of things happening here. And to be honest, this is definitely, I guess, way too complex for a regular stream. This could be a bit too much, so therefore I will skip on this and let's go into the regular tutorial, because I actually wanted to show you a little bit about the game to be. Let's go for the cheerier stuff and the Office Orc. And here you see one of my great... The game crashed, so I guess not the game, but PC crashed because Windows update, thank you Microsoft, and the whole thing just crashed, and therefore this arrow is popping up all the time. So this is, I guess, a cool thing, not really. And here I just wanted to talk about something which is kind of important if you're building a game. This is logistics. Logistics is one of the things which definitely works in the background. It is super important for every game. Why is that, you say? Because let's say, for example, you're having a shooter, top-down game, a side-scroller, something like this, and you want the player to know that they are having some sort of a progress, and you need to show the player basically what is still ahead of them. So for example, what they have unlocked. So for example, here I'm having this thing, and then if you go downwards, bam, of course I unlocked all the other stuff as well. Then you see, okay, what is left, and for example, maybe you just have 1 or 2 stars. Do I have both 1 or 2 stars? Let's see. Here we go. 0 stars. Wow. Okay, that was really bad. Then for example, this is the thing. Now for example, how can you else show it besides having maybe a map? Because this is indicating to the player, okay, I got lots of other options to do. For example, some players just want to rush through the game, but some are completionists and they definitely want to unlock stuff, and for that you have an unlock system. For example, here I just have my little thought here, and here maybe some other stuff which shouldn't be actually unlocked. So I guess I have to bug fix that now, and lots of other ones. So as you can see, there are quite a few things you can unlock during the game. And what is the game about? Basically, you are an orc and you work in an office, and that office is, let's call it not the most friendly one to you, and then you just see the journey of the Office Orc, and depending how much you unlock, you will have different kind of endings. So the first thing, this is a transition from the map to kind of, let's say, text thing, so I don't want to spoil too much, blah 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 blah, yeah. seen that before, well, because I programmed it. And then you actually jump into the action, and this is the regular game. So I'm not sure if everybody will want to play it because it's actually quite simplistic. For now, there's not much to do. You just send the guy into the lava, which is wrong. You like orcs, so they go to the right. And then of course comes stuff which you definitely don't want, then it goes to the left. And then at some point your orcs are getting weapons and helmets, and sometimes you don't want those helmets and things, and therefore, well, you need to distinguish, for example, what is good, and sometimes maybe you want some food, so food sometimes goes to the right, sometimes goes to the left. Here the Office Orc is pretty bare bone for now, but later on you can unlock stuff, and then, well, he's getting like some really cool gadgets which I don't want to spoil for now. And then of course you're getting points. Then once you finished your your pensum from one level, then you're getting some stuff and you can unlock things, which is the cool thing. So let's cheat a little bit, because actually you're not supposed to do that, but I can. And then if you basically unlock every level here, plus you get it really good, then you get star levels, and these are like the hardcore things, and they are minigames. And one of those minigames which will be this clone of Rampage, but I guess a smaller version of that, then you can play it. And then, well, you will have different kind of ones, and if you are really good and you beat all the levels pretty perfectly and you unlocked those things and you beat those, then there will be one which will definitely test your skills. So this is just for hardcore players, I guess. I'm not sure how difficult it will be for now, because it is not completely finished the game, but let's say 90%. There's just, for me, just some bug fixes, some changes. But once again, to come to the game, it's very crucial to give the player this big impression that you are somewhere, that you can interact with this world, and that you have kind of a progress. And for example, sometimes maybe you think, oh no, I want to repeat this level because, well, I want it to be perfect, and therefore you do that. And some people just say, let's say, now I just go the regular route, I just skip on those levels, don't care about that, no problem. So you can go at your own pace, at your own speed, and if you're a completionist, well, I guess you want to unlock everything, which will be, let's call it, not the easiest task, I guess, but this game is quite user friendly, so yeah, I guess you can actually unlock everything if you really want to. And just to iterate the point again and again, it is super crucial, because I've seen, let's say, some old school video games where you just go into well, you go into the level and then you go to the other one, then you get kind of lost because you're not sure, okay, how many hours do I have to play to end this game, or at which point am I, did I unlock things, are there things which I did collect, what is their function, and so on. This is the thing you need to make very transparent, so people can do different kind of things, because some people actually want to speedrun your game. This one, I guess it's definitely not possible to do speedrun, but let's say you have a side scroller, then you need to know, okay, how are the levels, which are the levels, can I just jump to the level which I liked because this one, I guess, I fancied the most, or something like this. Therefore, you need to give the player in advance those informations which are basically in the background, and these things are your backbone. Even though maybe if you're building your game you think, those things well, are maybe not too important, they are, because I've seen some examples of old school games, and then at some point you just lose the nerve and say like, okay, I don't want to play anymore, bye, and then you kick the game down, and this is just basically it, which is a shame, because sometimes it is worth to play some games from start to end. Sometimes they don't give you the chance to, let's say, to jump to specific levels, or so you know how much progress you're having, so what you have basically unlocked. So for example, what I just do here, 3 stars or 4 stars, this is definitely only unlocked very specifically, so the other ones you can actually unlock with the points you get in the levels. So this is how the system works, and it's pretty easy. You just have one currency, easy peasy, and then, well, this is just in the end the game. Then of course you follow a kind of a common thread. Then depending how well you are, you get a different ending. So you just clear from the start what is your currency, what is your agenda, what are you doing actually in the game, because those levels are pretty much, I wouldn't call that samey, but they are with the same game mode, and therefore they are like different combinations, but still they are similar enough to the previous levels. And of course the farther you get, then there will be some additions to make it a little bit more complex and a little bit more fun, so the repetition isn't too noticeable, at least I hope so. So because I guess if you unlock some stuff, every time you're thinking, okay, is that good, is that bad, then you sort left or right, or you do something else with the treasure chests. But not gonna spoil that for now. This is the first devlog. Hopefully you got some interesting impressions. Of course the game is still not finished. I wanted to do some shaders, so make some blur effects and some bloom, because actually I want to put in some bloom. So yeah, and the starting sequence, I want to put in other fonts. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do here, but we will see. So that was the first devlog. Hopefully you got some interesting impressions, and maybe you can actually write down what you think about it. Not sure if this is a game for everybody, because this is quite specific. Maybe you will enjoy it anyway. So that was it for today. Have a really good day. One up indie.